Well, our reporter Ulrich Hendricks is in Kimberley, and he's standing by with the chairperson of the Griqua Council, Barend Van Wyk, to look at the life of King Goodwill Zwelithini. A very good afternoon to you, Ulrich. One would wonder why the Northern Cape is significant and why we're talking about the King in the Northern Cape. We have been crisscrossing KZN, but for sure you can tell us why it is important indeed for us to be in the Northern Cape as well.
Hi, good afternoon, Flo. Yeah, well, the death of the Zulu monarch, King Goodwill Zwelithini, is being felt here in the Northern Cape as well. A lot of Khoi and San leaders have expressed their condolences in the past week over the death of the King. But they're also saying that there's a lot of admiration from their side for the King. Let's speak to Barend Van Wyk. Of course, he's the the chairperson of the Griqua Council. Barend, why did you, or in terms of the death of the Zulu monarch, what is the reaction from the Griqua nation, but also from the Khoisan nation in the Northern Cape?
I can say that the sudden death of, although he was in hospital, we have expected that he should be okay and recover fully. It's hard for us, and the sudden death has caused us some concern based on the fact that we know that he was a role model for many of us within the Khoi and the San and the Griqua communities as a leader that deals with traditional issues within the Northern Cape. We can say that there's a great loss and a great leader that should have done so much in the traditional affairs or the traditional question within our land, based on the fact that we were heading now for a new chapter within the traditional affairs, with the exception of the Khoisan communities, and we should have said that we could have went to them so that we can be part and parcel of we could have learned a lot from them when it comes to traditional affairs.
Talking about the lessons that you could have learned, you have been admiring and looking at and learning from the Zulu monarch in terms of watching him or how he's been conducting his affairs. What have you learned from how he's conducting his affairs, especially looking at the Khoisan traditional leadership bill that comes into effect in about 2 weeks' time?
He's the process of how he has conducted traditional matters by virtue of customs, by virtue of any rituals, or when he addressing his people and when he addressed the nation. You can see he's a leader he's got the integrity, he's a leader of format, and we can learn a lot as coming into the new chapter for the Khoisan communities, that we can took cognitions of how he has dealt with affairs, and we can learn a lot because he was the one in reading on the land issues within KwaZulu-Natal. We have learned a lot and can hear that he says no one will touch our land, and we need to build on the legacy that he has left, although it was just for the KwaZulu nation. But we can adopt his strategies, we can adopt the systems, how he has managed and how he has ruled his people. We can also take from there and put it into place in our respective provinces, in our respective traditional territories. We can do what they have done, and I know that when we look into the Zulu monarch, we can also sense that they know what to do, and that was the case with all the Khoisan peoples back then. Our leadership has done the same, but we didn't have most now that recognition back then.
just talking about land, very passionate about land to use it for economic benefit of the Zulu people. The lessons that you draw from there and how to use it when you start the process of fighting for lost land that you want to reclaim, but also to develop that land for the economic benefit of the people.
What land, when it comes to land issues now, then we need to see. If you look into the Zulu monarch now, they did have the Ingonyama Trust, and when it comes to Khoisan communities, we went for restitution, and within the restitution process, our land that we have, where you have requested or that we have lodged claim on, the government of the day wants us to allow other people to manage our land, and that is some of the challenges that we still have today. We do have problems of our land being restored, but it is in the hand of other people. I can give you an example in this matter that if you take Koopmansfontein for that matter, that land has been claimed by the House of the Griquas, but has been restored to, and as of now, not that we have a problem with racial issues, but a black CPA is now managing Koopmansfontein. And when it comes to the Zulu monarch, all their land has been under the Ingonyama Trust, and the government of the day should have given us that opportunity and ask us, how do you want your land to be managed? And we should have told them that we want our lands to be transferred into trust, because before our lands has been settled, we did have trusts that we can, like in the House of the Griqua Development Trust and the House of the Griquas Kuchas Claimant Trust, we did have land, we did have trust, but our land are not in trust. Our land is in the community hands, and it's not right, because right now we're heading for traditional territories based on the new law, Act 3 of 2019, and as of now we do have challenges as Khoisan communities. How will we restore our land that we have received by virtue of restoration? How will we restore our land, and how will we get the land, and how will we develop and manage the land? And I really can say today that the Ingonyama Trust is a great they say there's problems, but that is what we as Khoisan communities needs to have. All our land that we have claim for on restitution needs to be given back to us, and it needs to be put in trust for management and development of our people.
The king is being interred tonight at around 12 midnight. Your message for the family of the royal family and for the people of KwaZulu-Natal?
Our deepest condolences. Really, we mourn with the Zulu nation. Our deepest condolences with the loss of a great leader, and we want to say to his family and to the whole Zulu nation that we feel it with you. We feel that you need we our deepest sympathies goes with you, and we hope and pray that he will rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much. That's Barend Van Wyk, of course, the chairperson of the Griqua Council here in the Northern Cape. Of course, saying that a lot can be learned from the late king of the AmaZulu, talking about the way that the land issue was dealt with by the king, but also culture and leadership in the royal in that kingdom. Of course, looking ahead in about 2 weeks' time, the Khoisan Traditional Leadership Bill Act comes into effect. So they're looking, saying that they will definitely start looking at the ways the king conducted his business on all those fronts, and to practically put those lessons into place as they build further on the history and the times ahead for the Khoisan people. Flo?